ಶ್ರೀ ಗುರುಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಓಂ ಸಹನಾವವತು ಸಹನೋ ಭುನಕ್ತು ಸಹ ವೀರ್ಯಂಕರವಾವಹೈ ತೇಜಸ್ವಿನಾವಧೀತಮಸ್ತು ಮಾ ವಿದ್ವಿಷಾವಹೈ. ಓಂ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ ಶಾಂತಿ. So we were seeing the basics, why we have to study the Vedanta. Why, instead of that I should have to say why studying the other texts are useless. Okay, now we have to understand there are three kinds of people in this world. First is people who always negate, who say that is not right, that is not right, this is not right. They don't have anything to say from themselves, therefore they are going to only negate, that's all. They are useless to anyone. Okay, the second is who will only accept the the positivity. Okay, positivity means only the good things. Like the people who see this another state of laziness. I was saying these people who don't want to study Vedanta are lazy, right? So there are some people who study Vedanta who are lazy too. The people who don't want to enter into any debate in Vedanta. I'm not asking you to do debates in Vedanta, but the text which deals with debates, even that they won't touch. They will only study the Prameya Grantha. Prameya Grantha means the text. Prameya means object. Prameya means object. The text which deals with the object, the Brahman. Only that. They won't be studying anything which has to do with the Khandana Mandana. Khandana Mandana means the counter and the answer to it. They won't study anything regarding that. The reason for that is either they don't have the brains or they are basically lazy. If you want also only to read Prameya Grantha, okay, without any applying any logic. Okay, so listen to this. Brahman is the only truth. Whatever you see is Maya, illusory. There is nothing else here other than Brahman. Over. You don't have to continue anymore. This is what any Prameya Grantha is going to explain. Nothing else, nothing more. It cannot say anything else. So that is also of not going to be of any use, because to the need for these kind of debates, counter argument and arguments, is to gain the jnana nishtha. Jnana nishtha means to be established in the knowledge. Established in the knowledge means, how can I be established in knowledge? To be established in any knowledge, you have to have two qualifications. A, there should be no doubt. B, there should be no wrong knowledge. Samshaya, viparyaya. Samshaya means doubt, viparya means wrong knowledge. Samshaya, what is samshaya? Doubt. We say doubt, I have a doubt, I have a doubt, I have a doubt, etc. We use, but without even understanding the meaning of that word doubt. What is a doubt? With respect to the same object, if you have two or more knowledges, that is what is called as doubt. What is doubt? With respect to one object, if you have two or more knowledge, then that is doubt. Like I have one object, I see, is it pen or is it pencil or is it a knife? So there are two or more knowledges regarding one same object, therefore that is called as doubt. What is wrong knowledge? Wrong knowledge is erroneous knowledge or wrong knowledge. Erroneous knowledge is that which is contrary to the right knowledge, contrary to the object. Like this is a pencil. If I have the knowledge of pencil in pencil, right knowledge. If I have a knowledge of pen in pen, right knowledge. But if I have a knowledge of pen in pencil or pencil in pen, that is wrong knowledge, erroneous knowledge. Okay. So we should not have a doubt or be erroneous knowledge. Doubt and erroneous knowledge are obstacles for being established in knowledge, jnana nishtha. So to understand, to get rid of this doubt and erroneous knowledge, you have to study text which has this arguments. Okay, we will be going slowly to those kind of text, but here also we will introduce you to the arguments. Now the third kind of people is we Vedantins. We not just say that the other paths are wrong, we also provide you with the right path. What is the right path? That also we will explain. And we spoke about prameya. Prameya means, I said, object. Okay, prameya means object. The knowledge through which you gain the knowledge of the object, through which you gain the knowledge of the object, that is called as pramana. Pramana means pramana. Okay, pramana means means of right knowledge. Pramana means means of right knowledge. Yathartha jnana karanam. That is how we say in Sanskrit. You have to remember, means of right knowledge is pramana, not means of knowledge. Some people translate it as means of knowledge because of lack of logic. Because knowledge is of two types. One is yathartha jnana, the other is ayathartha jnana. One is right knowledge, the other is wrong knowledge. Wrong knowledge is also, erroneous knowledge also is a knowledge. So your definition will go there. So you have to be very clear, particular about the definitions. Means of right knowledge. That is what is pramana is. Okay. Now, I don't understand pramana. Okay, simple. I see the object. For seeing, my eyes are pramana. I hear sound. For the sound, my ears are pramana. I smell the food. For that, my nose is pramana. So for everything, I have a pramana. Sense organs are pramana for external objects. So this way, we understand the prameya, the object. We need pramana to understand the prameya. And when we talk about prameya, any sahasranama means 1,000 odd names of Bhagavan. Any sahasranama will talk about Bhagavan as aprameya. Aprameya, he is not an object of any pramana. But then, is bhakti itself useless? Is bhakti redundant? Because we are doing bhakti with regard to an object, right? So no, for that we have a counter logic which says, see, like yesterday I was talking about this Marathi saint. His name is Namadeva. That Marathi saint Namadeva, so he was with Krishna. Then later he studied Vedanta and understood that Krishna is not that embodiment, it is everything. There is nothing other than Krishna. He understood that. So once you understand that whatever you see is Krishna, then there is no issue there. Whatever you see as Krishna, Krishna means any deity. Then that gives you scope for devotion. Do you understand? So anything you meditate upon is nothing other than God. Anything you chant is nothing other than God. So the traditional means is better means for that. That is why we insist on traditional mantras, etc. Okay. Now, aprameya, all these sastram, etc. They give the name for Bhagavan as aprameya. Like Bhagavan is aprameya, Brahman is also aprameya. He is not object of any sensor. He is not an object. Simple. Over. He is not. Brahman is not an object. What is pramana? For that, we have to understand something. Different schools, different people accept different things as Pramana. The Purana people means the people who give lectures or accept Puranas, Vishnu Purana, Shiva Purana, etc. There are thousands Purana, different Purana, many number of Puranas. So people who accept these Puranas, they accept the Puranas as Pramana. It is said in Vishnu Purana, they'll quote. You quote something, then you accept that as a Pramana. Means you accept that text as Pramana. Therefore, these Purana people, they'll quote Purana as their Pramana. There are people, the Shaivites and Shaktites and these Vaishnavites, they quote their Tantra Granthas. Like the Shaivites, they'll quote, there are different Shaiva Tantra, Shiva Tantras. So Shaiva Tantras. So they'll Agamas, they call it Shaiva Agamas. So they'll go quote those Agama texts. The Vaishnavites, they'll quote something called Pancharatra. That's also an Agama Tantra text. So they quote that. So these people, they accept these kind of Pramanas. So what do we accept? We are trying to understand why only Vedanta. Okay. What do we accept? We Vedantins accept 6 Pramanas. We Vedantins accept 6 Pramanas. The same 6 Pramanas as accepted by the Purvamamsa Bhatta school. Although the other school also accepts, but we have already established a Vyavahare Bhattaha. We are followers of Bhatta school in the worldly transaction. So with respect to that, we accept the 6 Pramanas as accepted by them. What are those 6 Pramanas? The first one is Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha means direct perception. So you cannot perceive. What is perception? What is direct perception? Sense organ, when it meets the sense objects, the knowledge arises. That is what is perception. Sense organ, the meeting of sense organ and the sense object. That is perception. Now, for the sense organ to meet the sense object, there should be some guna or dharma. Form is a guna. Sound is a guna or dharma. That's not any matter. So, there is no guna or dharma in Brahman. Brahman is nirdharmaka. Though Vaishnavites will want to call the Vishnu as Sarva Kalyana Gunaka. He is endowed with all the auspicious qualities. We say whether it is auspicious or inauspicious, it is all Brahman. Oh, inauspicious also is Brahman. There is no auspicious, inauspicious from the viewpoint of self, from the viewpoint of Bhagavan. It is all our ideas. Okay. Now, for the sense organs to perceive, we need a dharma, an attribute. See, Brahman is attributeless. Therefore, you cannot perceive through direct perception, which Charvaka accept only direct perception. That is impossible. So next is a Anumana. Anumana means inference. Buddhists accept both Pratyaksha and Anumana. Anumana means inference. Inference means what? There is a smell. Smell of water? Sweet. How do you know? I am smelling the caramelized sugar or jaggery. Okay. I smell some garam masala. They are making something spicy. Okay. While I was saying this, I remembered this fellow. His name was Arjun. He's from Maharashtra also. During the Ekadashi period, they used to cook something called, see, Khichdi. When we say in South India, that is a different thing. It's kind of upma. In Khichdi, if you say in North India, it's kind of rice porridge with lentils. But Khichdi of Maharashtra is different. They use tapioca. So they use the tapioca balls and then make Khichdi. So this fellow, while they were cooking it, he was adjacent, sitting next to it, around somewhere, and then he said, There is less amount of sweet salt in it. Add more salt. This much of salt, he told, and he left. And we're like, how can a person smell salt? We added the amount of salt, he said, and we finished it. And while we partook it, we ate it, we understood that what he suggested was right. So by smelling, etc., we can understand. How do you know this? Because I have smelt this I have already gained. I have the knowledge of experience of the smell of a sugar or garam masala or salt, etc. So that is what I am linking. That is a based on anumana, inference. I infer there is this something because there is a correlation. They call it vyapti. Okay, so there is a correlation. Wherever that is, there this is. Wherever this kind of smell is, there is that sweet, like that. Okay, they have this logic. This is a very famous logic in Nyaya school, which is a parvato vanniman dhumat. That is the Sanskrit way. Parvato vanniman dhumat. Parvata means a mountain. Vanniman, vanni means fire. Mountain has fire. Vanniman means has fire. Vanniman, mountain has fire. How do you know? Dhumat, fifth case. Dhumat means because there is a smoke. How do I know this? Because I have this knowledge, this vyapti, this concomitance. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. I have this concomitance. So based on this concomitance knowledge, I say wherever there is smoke, there is fire. The mountain also has smoke, though in daytime you won't see the fire. Or if the fire is somewhere behind in the mountain, you won't see it directly. So because I see the smoke, I infer. So that is inference. So inference requires a smoke, etc. kind of linga. Linga, we call it linga. Linga, we have to understand. I explained this word linga earlier in Tamil and Hindi. Linga, I'm explaining it here. Linga. What is linga? Linga means leenam artham. See, linga is a word which is misinterpreted by people. Linga means the crude meaning. It is also the meaning of linga. Linga is a phallus. The male reproductive organ is linga. Okay, so they equate the shivalinga to that male reproductive organ. Some people, that's the low kind of intellect people. Some people who use their intellect but not in right way, they say, oh, it is obligant amidula, that back there is a linga kind of thing. That is another stupidity actually. And people who have imagination, they'll go on to say that see, they launched a rocket recently to take people from here for tourism to the other outer world. So that it looked like a phallus, it looked like that. So this linga, shivalinga, is a pointer to that kind of a rocket in from which through which Shiva came, etc. These are all imaginations. They use their brains in unproductive ways like this. Linga, what is linga? Linga means leenam artham gamayati iti lingam. Leenam artham gamayati means that which points out to the hidden meaning. Hidden meaning. That is why, though we don't have, like I was saying, anything you worship is Ishvara. So that form is Ishvara also. That's a pointer to Ishvara. That's all. It is not. Linga also means pointer. That's a pointer to Ishvara. Like it need not be of the same form everywhere. That is why in Kedarnath, you can see there is a stone. It's a kind of mountain, non-perfect stone, which is kept there. That is what is worshipped as a Shivalinga. And in Baidyanath, Pareli, there is a place called Baidyanath. There, the Shivalinga is inside that base on which the Shivalinga is normally planted. That is called as yoni or base. And in a place in Tamil Nadu, Tiruchi, close to Tiruchi, there is a place called Pudukkottai. Next to Pudukkottai, there is a place called Arandani. In there, There is a temple called Avudayar Kovil. Avudayar Kovil. Avudai means the base. There, the Shiva does not have any form. There is he formless state. So there is only the base, nothing else. That is also worshipped as Shiva. So it is to show that he is attributeless. Similarly, here, when you connect it, this is what is there is smoke, therefore there is fire. It's like that. To connect it to the origin, you have to have the knowledge of an attribute. For the smoke is attribute of fire. Therefore, if you have the knowledge there is smoke, then should be fire, because it is fire's attribute. So there is if there is some attribute, you can catch and understand Brahman through that. But Brahman is attributeless. Bhagavan is attributeless. So you cannot understand Bhagavan through inference. Inference is gone. Third is a comparison. Upamana pramana, we call it. Upamana. Comparison means that is like this. This is like that, etc. Like there is this oxen. We have heard of oxen. No one has seen oxen. Okay. So if you ask how will an oxen look like, I will just say oxen will look like the cow or cow. Just go to when you go to the forest, you see a cow there, you say, oh, this is oxen because it looks similar to my cow. Because there is a comparative knowledge. So to have a comparative knowledge, there should be another thing. Whereas Brahman is one non-dual. We say in Sanskrit there is a statement, ekam eva advitiyam, ekam eva advitiyam. It is one non-dual. Therefore, you cannot use comparative knowledge also. With respect to Bhagavan also, they have a Hindi saying which says, money is not God, but money is no less than God. So you cannot compare Bhagavan, Ishvara, Brahman with anything. So Brahman is non-dual, one. Therefore, there can be nothing else to compare it. There is nothing equal to it to compare it with. Therefore, comparison pramana also is useless. The fourth pramana is arthapatti pramana, postulation. Postulation is kind of inference, but there is a difference here. You will understand. There are two kinds of postulation. One is a drishtarthapatti, seeing postulation. Second is a shrutarthapatti, hearing postulation. See, first postulation, drishtarthapatti, here seeing postulation. You see a person. Normally, this person is given the name Devadatta in Shastra. You see this fellow, he is very healthy here and healthy, but he does not eat anything. So we infer he does not eat anything in the day because he eats in the night. Otherwise, how can one be healthy? So we infer that he eats in the night. We don't see plates or anything connected to the eating, but still we infer because of seeing his health and healthiness. You understand? So there is no direct connection between the cause and effect. Similarly, Drishtarthapatti is you go to a house, you knock the door, the Shrimati, the lady comes, opens the door. She is all smiles and says, yes. You ask her, where is Shriman? Where is Mr.? So she says, he is gone. That does not mean that he is dead. You don't infer like that. You don't understand it like that. Seeing the auspicious sign, she wears a ring or she wears the bindi, the forehead mark, the sindoor on her parted hair, or the mangalya, Mangal Sutra, the auspicious thread which a married woman wears here. So all these kind of auspicious signs, and you have just seen in half an hour ago. So you see this and you associate with that, and you say, okay, it's not that he has gone outside. Though you don't see any sign of the person, you see this lady, but still through that you infer. You understand? So that is why it is not brought it in inference. It is taken it as it's taken as a different pramana in itself. Okay. So postulation also cannot work there. The next one is see, normally the third pramana which we discuss is normally Shabda pramana, but I am keeping it for the final one. So we have seen Pratyaksha, direct perception, Anumana, inference, Upamana, comparison, Arthapatti, postulation, and fifth pramana we are going to see is Abhava pramana, Anupalabdhi pramana, absence pramana. What does that mean? See, is there anything between you and me? If I say there is a screen between you and me, a screen, cloth screen, will you accept it? No, because you are seeing me clearly. Okay. Then if I say there is absence of screen between you and me, absence of cloth screen between you and me, will you accept it? Of course, you accept it. Why? Because you see me clearly in the screen, in your TV screen. Or there is this table. I say this table does not have pot. There is absence of pot on the table. Is it right? Of course, it is right. There is absence of pot. Do you see the absence of pot? People, without thinking, they say, yes, I see the absence of pot. You don't see the absence of pot. You can never see absence. What you see is the base, the substratum, the adhisthana for, that's another discussion, adhisthana nadaha. But we see only the base which is here, the substratum which is here, substratum for superimposition, which is the table. We see the table, therefore we understand that there is absence of whatever we say. Okay, so that way you cannot understand Brahman again, because Brahman is existence. You cannot understand it through non-existence, Anupalabdhi, absence. Okay. So then we come to the final pramana, which is Shabda pramana. Through the Shabda pramana, the knowledge which we gain is a Shabda, not Shabda, Shabda. Okay. The knowledge we gain through Shabda pramana is Shabda Jnana, Shabda. Now, what is Shabda Jnana? See, whether you hear or you see, if you understand it through something, you objectify, you are limiting it. We are used to objectifying things. That is why we want to see Brahman in our mind. That is impossible here, because if you see it as object, you are not seeing the Brahman. You are seeing something limited. Brahman is not an object of. That is why Shastra very clearly says, "Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha." Taittiriya Upanishad says, "Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha." From where the words return back along with the mind without grasping it. Manovacha magocharam. It is not an object of mind and words. So this self, which is not an object of mind and words, can be understood only through the words. What contradictory statement it is? Yes, it may seem contradictory. If you understand, it will not be. How? See, Brahman is not taught through Vedanta, but we negate whatever is not Brahman through Vedanta. Vedanta teaches us what is non-self. Once you understand what is non-self, the self is always there. Whether you understand, you know, or you don't know, does not really matter. Self always exists. So Vedanta negates the non-self. Like if I'm going to paint something, I need to use different colors and I need to bring in the form. Whereas if I'm going to sculpt, what I have to do is I have to remove the non-object, non-image. The image is already there in the stone. I just have to remove the part which does not belong to the form. Similarly, just by removing the non-self, the self remains in its pristine glory. You don't have to do anything to do that. That is why I said whether you know or you don't know does not really matter. So that is how Vedanta teaches us what is self, not as object, because we are used to that idea. That is why I have to say this again and again. So now, since we understand the basic, why not the other Shastras and why only Vedanta Shastras, now we'll understand the text proper after the Guru Purnima. Third is Guru Purnima. After that, when we start this, when we continue with this, we'll see the text proper. Okay. ఓం పూర్ణమదః పూర్ణమిదం పూర్ణాత్ పూర్ణముదచ్యతే పూర్ణస్య పూర్ణమాదాయ పూర్ణమేవావశిష్యతే. ఓం శాంతి శాంతి శాంతి.